Hi everyone. I was asked to do a video of the things that I carry in my outdoor bag, which is a Fieldline Tactical. It's got a lot of pockets, lots of pockets. I mean, there is pockets everywhere. The bag is heavy starting out. I don't know how much it weighs. I don't think I've ever weighed it, but it is heavy. Which isn't a big deal. As you can see, I pack a lot of stuff. This is everything that I carry all the time, except for the winter clothing. I only carry that when it starts to get cold, but everything else goes in there. And I always have it. But let's get started. Alright, we'll go first to this side here. I keep a flashlight. Works. 96 cents, and it's bright enough. A pack of glow sticks, all different colors. And that's all the light I keep in my bag. Usually, though, I do have other means of light. If you've seen the video of my condor pouch, it is also on this bag. That's primarily the bag it stays on now. I am going to get a Maxpedition. I don't know if I'm going to get the Husky or the Fatty or which one I'm going to get, but I will be getting one of those also and putting it on my other bag. But I always have at least two means of light, and you can also make torches and stuff like that to get light as well. So that's all I have for that. Cutting tools. I have the Gerber Bear Grills machete. I've seen a lot of reviews on this, and some were bad and some were good. I like it. I mean, it is everything I need. I've baton with it. I've made shavings with it. I've never sharpened it, never, and I've had it for two years. I've cut down good sized trees with it. And it's not failed me yet. I did watch this one video of a guy hit a log with it and it broke in half, and that's not really a good review of a product. I mean, every product has a flaw when they go out. So just because one broke doesn't mean that they're all gonna break. And I've beat the crap out of that thing, and it's held up just fine. So I like it. Next is the Sog Kukri machete. I like this a lot too. It's got a really nice sheath with it. It velcros and zips. It's got a tinder, I call it a tinder buster on the back. That's what I use it for. And a lot of people probably wonder why I have two in my bag. I like to always have more than one. If one happens to break, I always want that backup. I always like having a backup. I also always carry this in my pocket. It is a Gerber. It's rubberized handle, which is really nice in the wintertime. It does not, get as cold as a metal or wood. So it's really nice. And it keeps a really good edge on it. Let's go to cordage. I've got this cheap, maybe camouflage, I guess you'd call it. I don't even think it's really paracord. I think it's just cordage. We'll call it that. Then I got bank line. I don't know if it's the heavy or the light. It works for what I need it for. So that's what I use. And it's a pretty big roll. Next I got toilet paper. Eco-friendly, biodegradable. Which I think all toilet paper is. But that was the selling point that they sold it under. Next is the first aid kit. It's just your average first aid kit. Migraine formula. I hate migraines, and I get them quite often. Chapstick, little puckers, lip balm, lip cream. As you can see, I've never used it. It's not even open. But this is going to be hard to do with one hand opening this up. Oh, I also have medical shears in there, but it's just your average. Get this here. It's just your average first aid kit. Mylar space blanket, first aid guide with some gauze, pads, alcohol, swabs, gloves, ice, cold compress, another 12-hour light there, and there's some band-aids, insect protection, lip balm, burn cream, all that stuff, poison ivy, sumac cleaner. I mean, just your average first aid kit. It's got a sting relief, aspirin, or non-aspirin, aspirin. So that was $14 at Walmart, I think. And the reason why I got it in this case is because if you've watched any of my other videos, I talked about a 3-day canoe trip that me, my wife, and my 2 kids went on. This was in the bottom of my tactical bag, and it did get wet, and I had to replace some stuff in it. So now it goes in here, and it's safe. And this here don't weigh that much. All right, next. Okay, sorry about that. That was my daughter. Want to know if I stole her remote? No, I sure did not. Here's another waterproof case, and the reason I have this in waterproof is it is dryer lint to start a fire, which really comes in handy when you don't have proper tinder bundles that you find in the woods. And not only that, but if everything's really wet, it's just a lot easier to use this than it is try to search for something dry. Bandage wrap. I like to keep it dry. It doesn't work very well when it's wet. It's good after you wrap it around your wound. It does keep a. They say it is mildly water resistant and it's breathable, so it's good. More dryer lint. I keep flares in here, search and rescue flares. It burns to 2,000 degrees. It produces a bright red signal for 5 minutes. Burns up to 2,000 degrees. Windproof. Great for day or nighttime signal. Self-contained ignition, no match required. The reason why I keep these isn't so much for being spotted. I'm not really concerned about getting stuck somewhere that I'll need this, and hopefully I never do. I mainly keep it for if I need to start a fire, if I don't get out of the woods by the time I want, and I do get stranded and I want a fire, this is excellent for making a fire. It burns hot enough that it's going to start a good fire even with wet wood. So that's really why I got it in here. Also, waterproof camp matches, a whole thing of them. So I like to have more than one. And then purification tablets. Coleman, everybody knows what these do and how to use them, hopefully. If not, message me in the description and I'll be glad to put a video on how to use that. Alright, moving on. I got 2 Mylar type space blankets, orange on one side, silver on the other. And this is more what I have for visibility. In the dark it won't work too well, but during the day this is a good contrast against all elements. So I mean, it's 51 by 82 inches. It's going to cover a large space. And I've got 2 of them. They're light. I got these off Amazon as well, and they didn't cost very much. I'm not exactly sure how much they were, but they were definitely worth the price. I have not used it yet, but it appears to be a little bit thicker and bigger than your average Mylar space blanket, the silver ones like you've seen in that first aid kit. But that's what that is. Have more than one. My Sawyer water filter system. Everybody knows, if you're into camping, you know what this is and what it does. 100,000 gallons. It's the Sawyer Mini. It's got the squeezable bag system. I have used that one time. That's the only time I've ever used it. It said that it made water taste. It didn't taste bad once it went through the filter system. I disagree. It still tasted like crap, but it was drinkable. So if I had to use it, I have it. Usually I like to boil my water. This here is my phone charger, because I take all my videos with a phone. Right now I'm looking at getting a camera, so I keep this with me. It can charge my phone up to 2 times. I got it for $9 at Black Friday one year. 45. I always carry a Rock Island Tactical 45 on me, which I will show you. And there that is. There it is. I always carry that with me when I go in the woods. Every time. Never leave home without that. Ever. The holster is a Bulldog. I got it for Christmas from a couple of friends of mine. Well, family really. They're more than friends. But that was really nice. I got a handkerchief. It's orange. Visibility again, but also for making char cloth and a bunch of other purposes. I mean, you can use this to strain water, all kinds of goodies. There's that. Binoculars. I like to have a set of binoculars in my bag. Just to be able to see where you're going is nice. If you get a good vantage point and you don't have a set of binoculars, obviously you're not going to be able to see as far. So I recommend everybody have a little pair of binoculars in their bag. These here are glasses cleaners. I keep them mostly in there for the binoculars, and that's pretty much it for those. Okay, moving on. 10-hour hand warmers. I actually keep these in there in the summertime as well, and I don't know why. I just do. I just don't ever take them out. I guess they're handy to have in there. But me and my son, we went on a camping trip last Saturday. I don't know if you've watched the video. We never had to use these. We actually stayed pretty warm in our tarp shelter. It was a really good trip. I had some more videos that I wanted to post on that I had taken, and I just never did get around to it. And I probably won't. I plan on going camping again over my Christmas break, so I'll probably just post some videos of that camping trip. I'm looking at doing a primitive teepee shelter with an internal fire. So hopefully that'll be a lot more interesting than a tarp shelter. Knife sharpener. I always have that in there. It's always good to have a knife sharpener. So it's a cheap one, $5 from Walmart. It does work all right. Not as good as a whetstone, but it works. Moving on. Fire starting. Okay, I'm obsessed with fire. So more matches in a waterproof container. It's got a little magnesium rod on the bottom, which maybe it's a ferro rod, magnesium coated. Yeah. Okay, another one. Here's a magnesium block with a ferro rod inserted, glued. Real cheap. I mean, you can get these things for like 99 cents. They do work okay, though. I mean, it's not the best one that I've ever used, but for the magnesium, it's great. It's really a lot better to have a magnesium block when trying to start a fire in the rain than it is just to have a ferro rod. Another ferro rod I ordered off, off internet order site, Wish, I think it is, and this one actually works really well. This is one of my favorites. It's got this nice grip to it, and you can really get a good grip no matter how you hold it. So I really like that. It's just super glued in there, I think. Lighter. Yep, works. 9-volt battery. You can use this for starting a fire really easy. I have steel wool in that bag somewhere. I actually used to have it with this battery, and I had this battery in a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, and a guy that I know said that even though it's in a plastic bag, I shouldn't have it next to the steel wool unless I have duct tape wrapped around it. Well, it wasn't actually this battery, it was another battery. But anyway, I had duct tape wrapped around the battery, and when I went to pull the duct tape off, one of the leads actually pulled out of the battery. So now I keep it by itself around no metal objects, so it can't start a fire. Okay, that's pretty much it for the fire. EOS egg. I know some of you guys are probably going to laugh, but I'm not a big fan of cracked lips or any of that. So it's 100% natural, 95% organic. Works great. This is sweet mint. I didn't really care what flavor. I just picked one. This is what my wife uses, so this is what I got. As you can see, I've actually never used it. I don't get cracked lips very often, so when I get them, I hate them. Quick and clean hand wipes, Clorox disinfectant wipes. I use this when I go out, not so much for my hand, but I use this more to clean my eating utensils off. I'm a big believer in having clean cooking utensils. A lot of people say, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's going to heat up. It's going to kill the germs anyway. I still like to wipe it off. Purex hand sanitizer. I've never used this. Usually I use the wipes, but I got this as a backup for my hands, stuff like that. My cold weather gear. Face mask. It's some type of cloth. It's very thin, very light, so I keep it in there. Army issue Polypro pants, Carhartt sock cap, Dickies socks, which they're really nice socks. They're really comfortable. They got the arch support, the little vent holes at the top, really nice. Then I got these for when I actually go to sleep. They are Therma something or another. I'm not quite sure. I got these for Christmas a couple years ago, and these things are awesome. Heat holders, thermal heat holders. I don't remember the name. I think they were Dr. Scholl's or something, but you can't really see it in the video. But I mean, them suckers are warm, and I hate having cold feet in a tent or in a sleeping bag. Okay, moving on to food. This is the food that I carry in my bag. I got Nasty Choice, Taster's Choice, green tea, which I'm taking the green tea out because it's a cheaper green tea, and it is absolutely disgusting. I tried me and my son went on our camping trip, and I mean, it was so awful. I couldn't even drink it. And I've got a pretty tough gut. Peppermints, spearmints, cinnamon discs, just a little pick-me-up. Oysters. I like canned oysters. They're really good. They're good for you. They've got protein, a lot of protein. I don't know if you can see the nutritional facts there, but it has, let's see, protein, 8 grams. It's quite a bit for a few little oysters. It's got all kinds of good stuff in there. I mean, they don't have dietary fiber. Sorry, I'm mouth dry. Should have drank before I made this video. I got peanuts, another source of protein, fats, stuff like that. French vanilla liquid creamer that I got from what's that? Kroger. Yeah, that goes with my nasty coffee. That's the only way I can drink it. Fruit grain strawberry bar. This thing has been in my bag forever, and I still wouldn't be afraid to eat it, even though it is really mushy. Actually, it looks like it's got a staple through it. Yeah, I'll probably throw that away now because it has broke the seal. So I'll set that to the side. Don't want that. Sweet and salty pretzel, peanut butter chocolate chunk, natural and artificial flavor. These are really good, and it's a nice pick-me-up when you're walking, doing a lot of activity, strenuous activity. Oop, zoomed in there. Also, I had just bought this at Rural King farm store. It's got salt, paprika, curry, cayenne, garlic salt, black pepper. That has come in handy. When we made our pork steaks on our camping trip, and our eggs and our potatoes, this right here was just the cat in the bag. I mean, it was great to have that. Also, I have one of these Cliff Bars, chunky peanut butter. I like the chunky peanut butter and the macadamia nut ones. I have not tried any of the other ones, so I don't know if they're any good or not. But these here are really, I'm not going to say they're really good, but they're good. Good enough to eat. I mean, you get some of that compacted food, which this is very, very compacted. It's very compacted. It's a lot of stuff just shoved really tight in a bar. And then Frank's Red Hot sauce. This one here is brand new. I just stuck this one in here last weekend when we went on our camp trip. I love Frank's Red Hot. I have it in every single one of my bags that I carry. You can take a really nasty thing and make it taste great with this. I'm not a big fan of Tabasco, and the reason why is it's so runny. You got a camp plate and you want it off to the side of something. This is more of a thicker consistency, so it tends to stay in its place a lot better than Tabasco, which just runs all over. And the flavor of Tabasco just is nasty. I will eat it if I have to. This here is a Grand Trunk hammock. I got this for $9 off Amazon. I have never slept in it. I've never done a hammock camping trip, so I've never had to ever had to use it. And I actually bought it for my wife one year, and she said she wasn't getting in it because she didn't think it was sturdy enough. So I took it over. But that is pretty much everything that I have in my bag. Besides the gun, I do carry this in my bag, but not the gun. The gun I keep on my hip in this holster, or I have another holster. I don't know if it's in my drawer here. No, it's not. But I have another brown holster that is not. It does not have a snap on it like this one does. And I carry it mostly in this one because I have a 2.5-year-old son, and I don't want him getting to it. When it's on my hip, when he was younger, he had a bad habit of trying to touch it, which we got him broke of that finally. So I always carried it in this holster and just never stuck it back in that one. But that's it. That's everything that I carry in my bag on a regular basis. Because I do go to the woods quite a bit. And I also have a ILBE bag and another cheaper bag that I got from Walmart, and I'll do reviews on those as well. The ILBE is not packed for anything. I got that last year for Christmas from my wife, and I've never used it, which I need to plan a camping trip to use it and get it on a video as well. But if anybody has any questions on anything that I've shown them, or comments, anything, criticism, whatever, just put it in the comment section below, and thank you.